Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling for our All Elite Wrestling Save. Last show, we had, of course, the big AEW Revolution pay-per-view, 86 rated, 21,000 in the house, 222,000 buys. Main event was Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes in a 90 rated match. One of the best we've had in the series. CM Punk MJF 87 as well was one of the other highlights. And Adam Cole and Danielson also had an 83. So it was a really good show, top to bottom, delivered exactly what we were hoping for. But of course now, new month, now we start building towards the next one. We're in March of 2022. And obviously in real life, in AEW, some things have happened. They've introduced a brand new championship. So we're going to reflect that in our game. And that, of course, is the All-Atlantic Championship. Don't worry about the picture. It's just a placeholder at the moment. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this championship's going to go. You know, it seems like it's going to represent, you know, I guess an Intercontinental Championship sort of thing, a bit of an international sort of flavor towards it. And they're doing a bit of a tournament themselves to crown the first champion. And I like the idea of that, I really do. And I think that I would like to do a tournament as well with my own little personal twist on it. I think instead of just doing a single elimination tournament, we might do more like a G1 style, you know, one of those Bound for Glory series sort of tournaments we've done in the past where, you know, you earn points per victory and things like that. So we're thinking about something like that at the moment. And here's what we're kind of thinking right now. So we've got Park, he's going to represent England. You've got Phoenix from Mexico, Miro from Bulgaria, Andrade from Mexico, Ethan Page from Canada, Sammy Guevara from USA, and Christian from Canada. So that's kind of preliminary names we've got at the moment. So yeah, we are treating it as a pretty high on the card, upper mid-card, a few mid-card guys, but definitely, you know, much higher on the card than potentially it should be. I don't know. I feel like a good, solid upper mid-card championship is what we need. And I think the TNT championship, we could bring it down the card, bring it down towards the middle of the card rather than at the top. You know, a lot of people say, well, does AEW need another championship? Well, in our game, it really does, because we don't have any of the Ring of Honor stuff. I definitely think another singles championship is needed. Definitely. So I'm actually really excited to have this, because obviously we've got quite a lot of TV to cover, not many championships to really work with. In saying that, we couldn't even find an opponent for Miro at the pay-per-view, so that's a bit of a brave call, but that's kind of what we're thinking. But you know, it's actually been a little bit harder than I thought to find a lot of international guys to be in this tournament, because most of our top guys are obviously from America. So, you know, we do have Andrade, for example, and Rey Fenix, and a few overseas guys. But trying to find someone different from each country has been a little bit tricky. You know, we don't have the luxury of Malachi Black because he's in the Tag Team Championship, so he would have been a great fit for this tournament as well, but we don't have that luxury. So it's been a little bit difficult to find that. You know, we could have used Buddy Matthews in this role as well, and I'm certainly considering doing that. Maybe having him replace someone in the tournament might not be a bad idea. So we're going to do a tournament. The only problem is, obviously, we're going to do the Owen Hart tournament, and I still want to do that at some point. I think that'd be fine, but in real life, I don't really know. Is the Owen Hart tournament gonna really do much for anyone? You know, are they gonna get a world title shot out of it? Doesn't look like it. Are they gonna get anything out of it? Doesn't look like it. In our game, we'd obviously want that to lead to something big. So maybe we could do that after Double or Nothing instead, and have the winner of that tournament get the World Championship opportunity at All Out, for example. Something a little bit more important rather than just a belt that they carry around. But anyways, a couple of things we're kind of looking at doing, and you obviously saw in the notepad earlier, some preliminary thoughts for the House That Always Win, the House Always Wins pay-per-view. That's one of the minor shows, the minor pay-per-views that we do in our game, and at the moment, Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe for the championship is kind of penciled in as a way to try and really elevate Samoa Joe quickly, just hotshot him into the main event, try and boost his popularity as soon as we can. Undisputed Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club. Anarchy in the Arena, I thought that was a neat little idea. I think we could really do that in our game as well. Keith Lee won the Revolution ladder match, so he's going to get a TNT title shot against Miro. And considering we're looking to move the TNT title down the card, it may not be a bad idea to have Keith Lee win that one there and have him, you know, have Miro lose, but keep him really protected. And then maybe we could have Miro shift over and challenge for the Atlantic Championship and be involved in that tournament and have him that be his focus rather than the TNT title. We need an opponent for Jade Cargill. We need to find some new tag teams in our women's tag team division ASAP. House of Black, who they're going to verse. Probably a Young Bucks rematch, I would say. So those are some preliminary matches we're thinking about for the pay-per-view. Now, some other things we're kind of thinking about doing as well. I'm looking at some of the roster in here, and there's a few, obviously, we look at our main event guys. There's a lot of guys that aren't really doing a lot. Christian Cage, Chris Jericho, for example. Sammy Guevara is not doing a lot. Park. And even further down the card, we've got a lot of new guys that have just kind of come onto the scene. Maybe a little bit further down, you've got Andrade, you've got Swerve, Samoa Joe's new, but we've got him doing something. Keith Lee's going to be doing something. So there's quite a few of our newer names. Some are doing stuff, some aren't really doing a lot. So to kind of resolve that in not a huge way, but to give a few guys something to do, we're thinking about creating a stable, a new one. And one guy that I think could really be in that role, and I suppose you think about in real life, his counterpart, Edge, he was, just had his own stable, and that was kind of working well till they kicked him out of the group for some reason. But Christian, we're thinking about running it back with the Christian Coalition and having Christian Cage at the head of a stable. In real life, obviously, he's with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. In our game, he's a heel, so that's not going to happen. But I'm thinking, okay, Christian Cage, he probably shouldn't be winning championships. He shouldn't be the focus, but he could definitely be a mentor and kind of managing and kind of helping elevate someone else to the main event. And there's a few guys right now we mentioned that aren't really doing a lot that I think could really benefit from being involved in a low-tier main event stable that could really, go on to do a lot more. One of them is being Lance Archer, and he's obviously, he's just floundering around. We just don't have anything for him. He's 45, so he's obviously at a much, his age is obviously a problem, but definitely could play the heavy, the muscle, the big guy of the group, and that can kind of give them that legitimacy straight away. Then I was thinking, well, we need someone that can be probably the star of the group, or the guy that's going to be the big wrestler. Who's going to be the guy that's going to come out of this group as the big name? And Andrade is probably the one. He's got 67 popularity, already doing well. His promos is the problem, so he's going to need a manager badly. Well, Christian Cage could certainly do the talking for him, and that can really help him, pretty much cover up the only major weakness that he has. In ring, he's fantastic, but on the mic, he's dreadful. So this will really help him in that regard. He's already a CMLL World Champion as well, so he's doing well overseas, so he's got that legitimacy as well. So that could really, really work. The only thing that the group's missing is probably a younger guy, or a really lower mid-card or mid-card guy that we can elevate to the top, or maybe even a tag team to add to the group as well. And that's kind of what we need to find and add to the group in the near future. But that's what we're kind of thinking about. And I feel like, that will help Andrade. It'll give Lance Archer a purpose, because at the moment he's got nothing. And this could be another really solid upper mid-card to low-tier main event group. And, will it lead to too much? I don't know. Maybe it could lead to Andrade being the All-Atlantic champion and kind of going from there. And Christian Cage can, really mentor and find some other guys to really build into the group. But, that will fix a little bit there, because we don't really have too much for these guys at the moment. And Jake Roberts obviously supporting with Lance Archer as well. So that's an idea we have at the moment. We're going to execute that, and we're going to see how that goes. And if it doesn't work, then we'll leave it and we'll try something else. But trying something different, giving Christian something to do, I think is important. Speaking of giving people things to do, so obviously new storylines. We've got Revolution's done and dusted, and we're out now on to our next pay-per-view, The House Always Wins, then more importantly, Double or Nothing. So we're going to do a storyline that's just kind of getting everyone involved, as guys having matches, moving up the ranks. That will definitely change now we have the All-Atlantic Championship. I did all these storylines before that one, so we've got that involved. Athena, she's now All Elite, so she's going to be taking on Britt Baker, so that could be a really strong rivalry to kick her off and maybe give her a big win to kind of legitimize her straight away. The Blackpool Combat Club and the Undisputed Elite, so we've got that. That's already been happening for a while. Chris Jericho and Adam Page. So two, top main event guys that are out of the mix at the moment, don't have a lot for them to do. I figured, why don't we run it back with, these guys have some history. We could kind of run a storyline where Adam Page, similar to what's happened in real life in the past, hasn't been able to win the big one. He's falling down the card a little bit. Things aren't really working well for him. Chris Jericho, well, in the inner circle, they've kind of moved on from him. They've gone their separate ways. Jericho's looking to form maybe a new group. Maybe he's looking to find some new friends and a new alliance. And he's trying to approach Adam Page to maybe be a part of that. As we said, the Christian Coalition, that's going to be, we need to find an opponent for them, but we're going to just build them up for now. CM Punk, we're still going to probably go with him in MJF potentially. That's still a placeholder. I'm undecided of what we want to do there. Do we want to continue that? I'm not sure where MJF would go after this storyline if we don't. In real life, obviously, lots is happening there, but for our game, he's been a world champion twice already, so he's a legit main event major star. So yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is there, but that's still there at the moment. I'm going to do a fatal four-way for the number one contendership for the tag titles, FTR, the Hardys, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, Jurassic Express, and the Lucha Bros. Lots to like there, so that's going to be good matches there. Yeah, House of Black and the Young Bucks probably going to continue that to the rematch. Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe, we mentioned that earlier. Cody Rhodes is officially done. He's gone from the company, so now we need a new opponent for Kenny. We haven't been able to do the triple threat match between Mercedes, Statlander, and Jade, so we're going to get that done. Miro and Keith Lee for the TNT title, and yeah, Superbad with Toni Storm. So Toni Storm's obviously new to the company. That gives her a rivalry, gives her a few different opponents, and she might be someone we might throw into a tag team. I'm not sure who that team's going to be at the moment. We definitely need some more women's teams badly. So that's probably a number one priority at the moment with our women's division, is get 2 teams at least. Definitely Kiera Hogan down in Ring of Honor. We might be definitely bringing her up once the Ring of Honor pay-per-view's done and having her with Red Velvet and go from there. That's a new tag team. So yeah, that's kind of what we got happening right now in our save. So lots of new stuff happening. But now we're going to move on to this week's episode of Dynamite, which is all booked and ready to go. And on the pre-show, Christopher Daniels, we got him back in the ring. He's not retired anymore. 43, we're going to see if there's anything worth exploring there. Is he still valuable enough in the ring to put over a few more guys before it's all said and done? Because I'm thinking about having him in Ring of Honor for a little bit, just to kind of help with, give that show a bit of legitimacy, and a bit of a throwback to Daniels back in Ring of Honor, for example. On the main show, Samoa Joe interrupts Kenny Omega's big championship coronation and challenges him to a match. So the big challenge, 96 rated here between Joe and Kenny. So a very, very strong segment, which we know is going to help Samoa Joe out a lot. So that really kicks off this rivalry here. And it's perfect for Joe because, Kenny, you don't really want to waste one of the major top guys as an opponent. Maybe a CM Punk, for example. You don't, or Adam Page. You don't want to waste that on a minor pay-per-view. But Samoa Joe, who's still lacking a lot of popularity, but this is a great way to get him involved, get him at the top, get him right in the mix. I think he's a perfect opponent for now. Next up, the House of Black took on 2.0, 61 rated match. Darby and Malachi, both 81. Darby Allin, he's a freak, man. That is really, really strong numbers. He's doing exactly the same numbers with Malachi Black, and he's got a lot less popularity. Matt Lee, 37, Jeff Parker, 51. Not bad. We had the Young Bucks say that their loss was a fluke, and they want a rematch at the pay-per-view. So, yeah, setting up for a rematch here, 85 rated, so good, strong segment there. Taz welcomes Tony Nese to Team Taz. Well, yeah, Team Taz no longer has Brian Cage. I figured that Tony Nese has absolutely nothing happening now, so why not throw him in Team Taz? Team Taz probably needs another couple of guys. We don't have Hook there either. Don't have Will Hobbs. It literally is just Ricky Starks. So I think adding in Tony Nese just gives them another, probably fodder, if anything, just a guy that just to kind of flesh out the group a little bit, someone that could take some pins and take the losses for the group to keep Ricky Starks strong. But yeah, it gives Tony Nese a bit of a purpose. Otherwise, I probably should be releasing him because I got nothing for him. So we'll see how that goes. Swerve and Keith Lee reconnect and talk about teaming up together, 69 rated. So yeah, we are looking to establish this as a bit of a, part-time sort of tag team, a strong alliance sort of thing, and go back and use this team if we need it in different rivalries. So just establishing that friendship there. And we might as well have them in a match. Swerve and Our Glory took on Hybrid 2, 59 rated. Swerve 62, Keith Lee 72, and Helico 57, Jack Evans 48. So strong start to their tag team run. 659 rated match is decent, gives them a W, and kind of establishes them as a legitimate team. Toni Storm made her debut in AEW as she took on Jamie Hayter in a 61 rated match. So really strong start to her run here. Obviously had this as an eye candy to boost up the performances a little bit here, but good to see Toni Storm here getting her out there, getting involved in the fans as a surprise debut, first time match, beating Jamie Hayter, which is one of the bottom members of Superbad. She's a part of that group, so that kind of kicks off that rivalry a little bit there. And post match, the Superbad assault Toni Storm, so they beat her up after the match for 28. So 3-on-1 attack. Yes, it opens the door for Toni Storm to find some backup. Who's that going to be? I don't know. If not, we could obviously just have her go it alone. But yeah, a strong start for Toni Storm. Nonetheless, a good match, a good way to debut. Miro says God needs him to redeem Keith Lee. So Keith Lee is the next in line for Miro. Yeah, I really don't want Miro to kind of lose the championship. I think that's we want to keep Miro really strong, and he's doing really, really well for us. Much better than I expected. But I think the plan has to be, we're going to introduce another championship. We've got to bring the TNT championship down more towards the 60 popularity and under sort of guys. So we can slowly do that by having Keith Lee, and then maybe Keith Lee loses it to somebody a little bit further down and keep bringing it down the card and establish the All-Atlantic Championship is that 60 to 75 sort of area, and in that, 75 plus more of the main event talent, which Miro obviously is, 78, 80 popularity or so he should already be in the main events, but for whatever reason, just hasn't been his time yet to have that shot. Brian Cage took on and defeated Jake Hager in a 69 rated match. So a bit of a way for Brian Cage to rebound after losing to Ricky Starks. He gets a win. Jake Hager 55. I think the Inner Circle is pretty much done. We're kind of just having them go their separate ways. And there's really not a lot for Jake Hager to do in AEW without the Inner Circle. I mean, he could still stay connected with Chris Jericho like he did in real life. That's not a bad idea. But for me, yeah, Hager has no real purpose. So he's going to be taking a few L's to some of the other guys that need it. Christian Cage debuts the Christian Coalition and vows to take unappreciated stars to the top. So I guess the backstory about this group would be, Christian Cage throughout his entire career was one of the most unappreciated and underrated guys. And you've got someone like Lance Archer who's going, very under the radar, underappreciated. He's not getting opportunities. No one's valuing him the way that he should be. Andrade spent majority of his recent time in the WWE, for example, undervalued, underappreciated. So Christian's kind of finding guys that he believes, deserve better. Guys that are just not getting the chances they deserve, not getting the respect that they deserve, and trying to help elevate them to the top. And that's, I guess, the consensus of his group. In terms of the Christian Coalition, the actual name, I'm not that creative, so I really didn't have a great name, so I just kind of used a name that he's used in the past and decided why not run it back. So MJF confronts Sting and says AEW officiating cost him his match and wants a rematch. So he wants another chance against CM Punk. So he's saying that, the referee screwed him over and he's trying to find an excuse as to why he lost to CM Punk. 100 rated, no surprise. MJF delivering the goods again. Next up, Samoa Joe defeated Rey Fenix in an 82 rated match. Unfortunately, it wasn't really because of Samoa Joe. He had a 60 rated performance. He was really off his game. Rey Fenix, 86. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable from Rey Fenix. But a great match nonetheless. 82, very, very strong match in the end. Post-match, Kenny Omega runs towards the ring but quickly backs down from Samoa Joe when he realizes Joe is ready to fight, and Kenny Omega not happy to face him. So 87 there. Good, strong segment as well. So, yeah, look, a good start for Samoa Joe. Some good segments. He had a good match. Wasn't really his doing, but we gave him the right opponent nonetheless, and Joe can really gain some popularity and we're trying to hotshot him as quickly as we can to the top. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that. 82 rated show in the end, 7,000 attendance. I think that's a thumbs up from me. Let's quickly run through Ring of Honor's show. We just kind of threw this one together, nothing too special here. Hook and Fuego on the pre-show for 28. Hook picked up the win. He had a 29 performance, Fuego 36. Opened up the show with William Regal telling Cesaro and Johnny Honor to find partners for the main event. 71 for that one event in the storyline, so good stuff there. Deonna and Kiera Hogan had a 42 rated segment, kind of back and forth on the mic to build towards their match. That was, that's pretty decent. Not too bad from those two. Lee Johnson and Nick Comoroto, 21 rated match. No surprise, that wasn't very good. Trying to build up Lee, get him another win. Nothing too special. Briscoes, 38 for their promo on the Gun Club. Josh Woods and Aaron Solo had a 43 rated match. The Pure Championship on the line as Josh Woods defends it again. Anthony Ogogo ringside for this one, building towards their match at the pay-per-view. We had a trios match between Mia Yim and we had Danica and Gracia. Gracia, they teamed up to take on Allysin Kay, Ty Valkyrie, and Paige Van Zandt. So a few different debutantes here. Danica and Alex, kind of having them as a team at the moment. Both had the pink hair, so I just threw them together. Mia Yim and Allysin Kay also making their debuts as well. So yeah, good opportunity just to introduce a few different women into the brand. And 54 rated match was actually pretty decent, to be honest with you, better than I expected. So yeah, a few decent women though in the match, to be fair. You had Ty Valkyrie, she's involved. Mia Yim was the best of the match, 61. So that's something to think about if we want to bring up Mia Yim to AEW at some point. In the main event, well, we had the Kings of Wrestling back. Chris Hero and Cesaro teaming up to take on Johnny Honor and Matt Taven. 67 rated match. Cesaro 83. Oh my goodness, that is good. Chris Hero 69, Matt Taven 56, and Johnny Honor really good as well, 75. Chris Hero makes his debut. Very good with his gimmick, so that's positive news as well. So overall, really solid match, really good main event. Rest of the card, not so great, but it does give us a 54 rated show. Yeah, just kind of building towards, we just want to get this pay-per-view done, quite honestly. Just kind of, starting some decent building blocks to kind of go with before the pay-per-view. Okay, on to this week's AEW Dark. And we're going to open up with Keith Lee and Swerve cutting a promo on Miro. And just kind of getting these two established together a little bit more TV time, more talking time, and kind of seeing what they can do. How good are they on the mic together? They got some chemistry. We'll see what this team kind of brings about. 67. Shining Force takes on one of our new teams. Yes, we've got ourselves a new women's team. Layla Hirsch and Serena Deeb. They're going to be called the Stretching Crew, just a generic name that the game threw out. I went, oh, that'll do. That's fine. Stretching Crew, good enough. Kind of fits. So, let's see. We had Riho and Yuka Sakazaki, the Shining Force. 49 and 51 from them. Serena 53 and Layla 40. So not bad. That's pretty decent for. Of course, this was an eye candy match as well, but not bad at all. So no real weak link here. Just got to get them some popularity. Pretty simple. They are certainly lacking in that regard. But yes, another team. Thank goodness we needed it. We probably still need one more. I feel probably a babyface team. One more babyface team. And that might just be enough to keep us going for a little bit longer. Christian Cage talks about how dominant Lance Archer is in an 80 rated promo. That's much better than his original promo on Dynamite, 80 rated, so that's a bit more promising. Andrade I don't think was available for this show, so we couldn't use him. I think Andrade is always busy on Fridays, so I don't think he's able to really do that. I think he can only really do the Dynamites because he works in CMLL on Fridays. So yeah, that's going to make it a little bit tricky, but it just gives Lance Archer, I suppose, a chance to be a bit more spotlighted and featured here. So nice promo by Christian, pumping up Lance Archer. Buddy Matthews defeated Kip Sabian in a 68 rated match. Buddy Matthews 70, Kip Sabian 53. So we accidentally let Kip Sabian go, so we've rehired him. So we've got him back, and he had a 53. It's pretty good from him. Now, we talked about Buddy Matthews. Can we put him in this All-Atlantic Championship tournament? And I thought to myself, well, yeah, House of Black, he's kind of doing a thing there, but is he really? Not really. Like, he's not in the Tag Team Championship match, so he's more than capable, and he can be the representative for the group, and it makes sense. So I decided, why don't we just give him a singles match? Let's see what he can do. If he performs good enough, then we'll put him in the tournament. There's your answer. 70 rated performance. That was excellent. Consider Buddy Matthews added to that tournament. Definitely deserves to be there. 68 overall match. Great stuff. FTR cut a promo on the tag team division as we kind of build towards a number one contendership match there. 71, pretty good. Top Flight was defeated by Proud and Powerful in a 60 rated match. Pretty good stuff. Again, Santana Ortiz, we still just can't seem to find much for them to really do. But we need to try and get them in the mix. They're not even in that number one contendership storyline, which I think realistically they should be. But they're not, which is a bit of a shame. So we gave them a match here. We're just kind of seeing what they can do. And what they can do is really good. 68 and 73, they definitely deserve to be in the mix. I just got to find something for them a little bit more. Taz hypes up his team. So he's got Tony Nese and Ricky Starks now. He's pumping them up, telling us how great they are. And the Portfolio, they cut a promo on Chris Statlander and Mercedes Martinez. So we're going to do the triple threat match on Rampage this week, 58 for that one. Main event, Miro actually defends. That's right, he's actually going to have a match and he will actually defend the TNT Championship against Colt Cabana. 75 rated match. Miro 81, excellent. Colt 52, good enough. And it gives us a strong match on Dark and gives Miro, purpose. It's only his third title defense, and he's held the championship for a while now, so that's a bit of a problem. So we're trying to get him a few more matches, get him a few more title defenses, and kind of, showcase how dominant he is before he gets to Keith Lee. But yeah, overall, it gives us a 70 rated edition of Dark. Wow, 70. That's probably one of the best we've ever done. Yeah, good stuff. And we didn't overload it. We had some main event guys, like Christian was involved, FTR, and Miro. So yeah, we did have some top guys, but sprinkled in with a bit of mid-card stuff. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, lastly, we've got Rampage this week. And we're going to start off this Chris Jericho and Adam Page rivalry, where Chris Jericho interrupts Adam Page's promo and offers to form a new group with Adam Page. 100 rated. Well, that's a sign of things to come. That is looking very, very promising. Very good stuff. And hopefully we can continue that momentum in the near future. Jurassic Express, they defeated the Hybrid 2 in a 69 rated match just to build their momentum as we head into this number one contendership situation. Alright, we had the Women's Championship match. Jade Cargill, Chris Statlander, Mercedes Martinez. 53 rated, not an eye candy match. No eye candy. We wanted to go, okay, let's see how this actually goes. 53, that's a big thumbs up from me. Really good. Jade, yeah, she's not really doing that well as champion, but 38 from her. Chris 53, Mercedes 48. Overall, a strong match. Jade picks up the win. She pins Mercedes after Stokely Hathaway gets himself involved and helps Jade grab the win. It's her third title defense and she still is dominating. So she's not undefeated. She has had a loss in our save, but she's pretty much just hasn't lost for over a year, I think so, or nearly. I think the House Always Wins was her last loss, I believe, but we've been building her up. She's a dominant champion. Who's going to take the belt from her? I don't know. At this stage, probably, there's a few names we could throw out there, but at this stage, Jade's probably going to hold the belt for a while longer just yet. And she's been really, pretty decent. Her in-ring is not great, but her segments and angles are decent enough, and that's probably what's getting the women over, not so much their matches at this stage. The House of Black accept the Young Bucks' challenge for a rematch, 75, so they're not going to back down from that. Good promo from them. Darby and Malachi both speaking there, so that's promising. And our main event, we had Adam Cole versus Eddie Kingston as a way to continue to building the Blackpool Combat Club storyline and the Undisputed Elite. So, big chance for Eddie Kingston to see what he can do in a big main event scenario. He performed at 50. So, in our game, Eddie Kingston's popularity is just severely low. It really needs to get better. And I'm hoping with these sort of angles and matches with top guys, being associated with them, it can really help him. Adam Cole 84, so good strong win for Adam Cole. A bounce back after losing at the pay-per-view and kind of gives his group a bit of momentum. Kyle O'Reilly got himself involved and helped Adam Cole secure the victory. It gives us a 74 rated edition of Rampage, which is probably just a bit too low, but still increased our popularity in 15 regions, so that's not too bad, just 2 were decreased. So we probably need 75 plus, so not far. And we didn't really give too much away. So that's pretty promising. All right, let's take a look at the post-match results for Rampage. 628,000 viewers. Now here's the deal. Vicky Guerrero has been stolen. The WWE have taken her off our hands. Thank God. Thank you very much. You can have her. But yes, Vicky Guerrero is going to the WWE. They've offered her a big money deal. Literally, I think it was like $10,000 a month or something like that. Something stupid. And I was no way in hell I was going to look to re-sign her and bring her back. So the WWE, and more specifically NXT, have got Vicky Guerrero. So congratulations to them. They can have her. We're still trying to bring Wardlow back. I still can't believe we messed up with all these contract situations. So we're trying to get Wardlow back. The WWE are making it hard. They've offered him $70,000 a month. Now the NWA want to get involved as well. There's no chance he's going there. Not that sort of money. We have to offer him $75,000 per month, 5-year deal. I think Wardlow's worth it. He's going to be a big star. Definitely he's on a roll in real life. And I think for us, I'd love to pull the trigger on him. All Atlantic Championship would be a great title for him to have, I would say. TNT title is probably not a bad, start for him. He could probably beat Keith Lee, and even though he's got a lot of popularity, it's a title that he can hold and keep and kind of really make great without too much pressure, because it's not a major championship now that we'll have a third title. So he can kind of hold it and be in a good position without having that pressure of having really strong, near main event level matches. So that might be still a good idea to do. But yeah, at the moment he's not really in the mix. Well, at the moment he's not even in the company, but when we bring him back, we need to probably start getting him involved in more single stuff rather than just MJF's lackey. Bobby Fish, he was gone. We brought him back, thank goodness. Sean Spears, he was gone. We brought him back. And, well, apparently we could re-sign Cody Rhodes. So I offered him a deal to try and entice WWE to bring him in. And they haven't offered him a contract still. So $142,000 per month is what I'd have to pay for Cody Rhodes. So we're not going to bring him back, but unfortunately we just have to kind of play the waiting game. I was trying to get the WWE to bring him in because I would love to make that happen, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to be. At some point in our save, I should have probably done it when we did the transfer over of different saves, but at some point we might need to take over the WWE for a week or so and just sign all the people that are meant to be there and fix them up. But that's pretty much all we have time for this edition of Total Extreme Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. New storylines all getting established, and like I said, new titles, new stables. There's lots happening as we build towards the House Always Wins. Originally, we were going to have that pay-per-view in April, first week of April, but I'm going to bring it forward and have it in the last week of March. Tournament will be coming. I think we're going to start that tournament next week as we kind of finalize who we want involved in that tournament. Maybe having Wardlow in that tournament might not be a bad idea either. Kind of get him a lot of matches, get him some experience. He'd have to take some losses though, so yeah, we probably should avoid that. But nonetheless, thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. More episodes coming very, very soon. Appreciate your support, and make sure you subscribe to see more in the near future. Thanks, guys.